Hey, it was a 5-0 sweep on the show yesterday. First one of those in quite some time, but we've now shown a profit 7 of the last 9 days overall here on the Power 5. That's what matters. It's going to be an all MLB edition of the show Sunday. 5 free totals coming your way in just a minute. But first, I do have to acknowledge last night's 5% loss in the NCAA tournament with Auburn plus 2.5. Pretty upset about that one, obviously. It's a bet I'd make again. No doubt about it. Tigers were leading by 8.5. Thankfully, I did manage to win my other two NCAA tournament plays, which were Houston plus 5.5, and one you got for free if you watched yesterday's Power 5, Auburn, Florida, under 159.5. I also cashed Milwaukee in the NBA. So it was a 3-1 Saturday overall with client plays, despite the 5% loss. That's in addition to the 5-0 sweep here on the show. I'd say it's pretty good. Subscribers are now up over 40 units since February 19th. You can subscribe as well over at wt.buzz/BP. Now let's get to the Power 5 for Sunday. As a reminder, smash that like button when you agree. Feel free to comment down below if you've got a differing opinion. First play is going to be D-backs Nationals over 7.5, 135 Eastern start. This is a rubber match of a 3-game series. Nats broke through with a 4-3 win yesterday. What jumps out to me for today is the total's lower than either of the first two games. We had an 8.5, a total of 8.5 on Friday, then 9 on Saturday. Now, the primary reason for the dip in the total is Corbin Burnes is starting for Arizona, but he allowed 4 runs in his first start. Then for Washington, you got Trevor Williams on the hill. Considering he allowed 10 hits in his first start, Williams was fortunate to allow just 3 runs in 5 innings. The Nats bullpen continues to be a concern as well. Between the Penn and Williams and Arizona lineup that's third in runs scored so far, should not have much trouble scoring runs here. Remember, the D-backs led all of MLB in runs scored last season. The Nats will score enough to help this one get over 7.5. Second play, Blue Jays Mets under 7.5. 140 Eastern start here. This is a bet we cashed on yesterday's show. The two teams combined for just 5 runs. It was a 3-2 Mets win. There were also only 5 runs total scored in Friday's game. All of those by the Mets. 5-0 win. So going back to the under 7.5 with these teams for a second straight day. My old nemesis, David Peterson, is on the hill for the Mets. Got to tip my cap to old David Peterson, though. He was good his first time out. 2025 allowed just 2 runs on 5 hits over 6 innings, also had 9 strikeouts. I like Toronto starter Bowden Francis as well. The only 2 runs he allowed in his first start were a pair of solo homers. In fact, those are the only 2 hits Francis allowed over 6 innings. 6 of the Mets' 8 games so far have seen 6 or fewer total runs scored. Meanwhile, 6 of the last 7 games for the Blue Jays have seen 7 or fewer scored, so under 7.5 here. Third play, Padres Cubs under 7.5, 220 Eastern. Cash San Diego under their team total of 3.5 on yesterday's show. They lost 7-1. That now makes it back-to-back losses for the Padres here at Wrigley following a 7-0 start to the season. All 7 of those wins came at home, by the way. When the total is this low at Wrigley, you know the wind is probably blowing in. That obviously helps the under. Padres have scored just 2 runs in the 2 games so far at the friendly confines. The 2 starters for Sunday, Kyle Hart for San Diego, Ben Brown for Chicago. They may not be household names, but this should be a low-scoring affair. Fourth play, 7.5 continues to be the key number on today's Power 5. We're going to look to go under another one. Mariners Giants, 4:05 Eastern. This series has been all Giants so far. A 10-9 win on Friday, followed by a 4-1 win Saturday. Typically, when the Mariners are involved, runs are scarce. This is because they have a weak lineup, excellent starting pitching. As for the latter, it's Bryan starting on Sunday. He allowed just 1 run on 3 hits his first start of the season. That ended up being a 2-1 win over the Athletics. Jordan Hicks, who was today's starter for San Francisco, he was even better than Wu in his first start. Went 6 shutout innings and allowed just 1 hit, so under 7.5 for Giants Mariners. Before I get to our final play for Sunday, I want to note, if you're watching this early enough, there's still an opportunity to get my 4% best bets for Sunday in both the Premier League and Major League Baseball. Again, as I mentioned at the top of the show, I'm up over 40 units in all sports since February 19th. That includes a 12-4 run in the NCAA tournament. I'll have a 4% best bet on Monday's championship game. That should be out by later today. WT.buzz/BP is where you go to get it. Fifth and final play for Sunday's Power 5. Under 9 in Guardians Angels, a 4:07 Eastern start. The Angels got the win yesterday. Now, the first 2 games between these teams have both been high scoring. 14 runs, in fact, scored each time. Cleveland won 8-6 on Friday, for the Angels answered with the win last night. I just don't see that amount of scoring again this afternoon. I know Luis Ortiz was terrible in his first start for the Guardians, but Ian Anderson tossed 5 no-hit innings for the Angels his first time out. I just don't really trust either of these 2 lineups to produce for a third straight day. So under 9 it is. Recap time for Sunday. D-backs Nationals over 7.5. Blue Jays Mets under 7.5. Padres Cubs under 7.5. Mariners Giants under 7.5. Do you have a pattern? By the way, I would play those last three. I would play any of those down to 7. And then the fifth and final play, under 9, Guardians Angels. Reminder, go ahead, comment down below. Also, make sure you're subscribed to the WagerTalk YouTube channel. It's going to do it for me today. Hope you enjoyed the show. Smash that like button if you did. Until next time, let's cash some tickets.